Alrighty then. Successful indie author, 5 minute focus, episode 1129 self care. And it's so much more than just a spa day. Now, you need those too, but there's other things you need first. Boundaries. Boundaries are self care. So people encroach on your time, people encroach on your life, people ask you to volunteer for things just because, hey, you get things done. And all of a sudden, you have no time left to yourself and you're doing things that you don't want to do and they don't benefit anybody except this person who asked you. And sometimes you need to do favors for friends, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes they ask too much. And I've done that for people too. Somebody with a truck, holy cow, before I got my own. Hey, mind coming over and helping me? Yes. And then finally he told me no. And I very much understood why. So boundaries, they're good for self-care. Discipline. You need some self-discipline too for self-care. Like, don't eat that extra piece of pie at dessert, especially when you're full after the first one, even when you maybe shouldn't even have the first one. But self-discipline like that, or sitting down and saying, hey, I need to write. So you get to writing, even though it's not a cool part of the story, it's kind of slow, you still have to get it down. That's the discipline. That's part of self-care too. You have to tell yourself no, because if your self-care constantly says, oh, you don't have to write today, and then all of a sudden 6 months have gone by and you don't write, well, come on now. Are you a writer? If you're an author, you need to write. That's good for your soul. Get up every now and then again and do something. You need to not sit there all day, every day, and just sit there. That's not good for you either. You got to keep that body energized. You got to keep the fluids moving throughout it, keep everything lubricated, and especially keep this working at top condition. And that means the rest of your body, your support structure, all of this is just for this. Because without this, none of this matters. So you've got to take care of this first, and then that will take care of that, and then you'll be able to think better. So sit and think. I think Ursula K. Le Guin had it worked into her schedule that she would just sit and think for 2 hours. I can't think for that long. Sit there and think. Now, doom scrolling on Facebook is not thinking. I think that makes you stupider. So I suggest sit and think. So in the afternoon walks with Stanley, he goes out and he just sits in the sun. He'll walk like 50 feet and then he'll just sit down, stare into the sun, close his eyes and just absorb the rays. Sometimes I play with my phone, but most of the times I don't. Just stand there and take it in. It's nice. Weather's about perfect up here right now. About perfect. Mosquitoes are few and far between. Temperature is cool. There's usually just a little bit of a breeze. Oh man, how can you beat that? So don't. Use that time to think. What's the next scene in your story? What about the characters? Have you developed them the way you wanted to for them to move forward? Those things. Give yourself props for doing those things that other people don't see. Like, hey, I did sit down and write, even though I didn't want to. I wasn't in the mood. And I did. I wrote a page, whatever it is. Give yourself props for stuff that other people don't see, that you're never going to have somebody say, oh, man, look at you. You're writing today. Okay, cool. But unless you tell somebody, and sometimes you don't need to tell people, you're just doing stuff to make sure you keep your business moving forward. And if you've let yourself go, you've got to get yourself back under control. So if you've let yourself go by not writing, by not doing this, by writing, but you're doing stream of consciousness or you're just all over the place, sit and think. Get yourself back under control. Focus on what you need to deliver for that story, not just getting words. Any words are not good words. Get good words, but think first, because that makes it better. That makes it easier, because if you know what you're going to write, it's a whole lot easier to write it than just sitting there staring at a screen saying, geez, I don't know what happens next. Well, figure it out and then write it instead of trying to write it without figuring it out. That usually makes for a grand mess. And we don't want that with our manuscript. We want a nice, tight story that you can turn over to your editor. They send it back with not 10,000 issues clean that you got to clean up so much red that you can't see what you wrote anymore. And yeah, don't do that. Think and then write down what you know needs to happen in a story. So self-care. Boundaries are probably one of the biggest things that you can do. Boundaries and self-discipline. Because once you have that discipline, I'm going to sit and write, and 15 minutes, I'm going to focus on this. You get 500 words in 50. Hey, that's a good day. And that was 15 minutes of your time because you had the discipline to focus and do it. And then, hey, I got this other time because I only needed 500 words today. Met my goal. Life is good. Moving on. Right? Self-care. Think about it. And then every once in a while, you do need a spa day. Go relax. Get some hot water on you. Get your nails done. Do those things that make you feel good, but know that you've earned them, and not because, hey, I just can't do anything, so I'm going to give myself a self-care day. That's not necessarily self-care. That's you're rewarding yourself for not doing stuff. Reward yourself for doing stuff, and then you get more of that. That's what positive reinforcement is all about. Peace, fellow humans.